Okay, hello everyone. This is our Smith & Wesson business strategy. We are group 9. I am Heather. I have Sierra, Riley, Cameron, and Eric here today, and Rebecca is also in our group, but she is not presenting with us. Moving on to our agenda. Today, we will be going over Smith & Wesson's current mission and vision statement, the newly revised mission and vision statement, their SWOT analysis, the short-term and long-term action plan that we've come up for them, the financials, the risk and reward, and the conclusion. So the current mission and vision statement of Smith & Wesson, starting with mission, says leverage our brands and our employees' capabilities and experiences to design, produce, and market high-quality, innovative firearms that meet the need of our consumers while delivering healthy financial performance. And the current vision statement says be the undisputed market leader in the firearm industry. We as a team felt that these could use some work. They needed to have a little bit more to them about their agenda and a time frame that we want to get things done for the company. So moving on to the newly revised mission and vision statement that Group 9 has come up with, says at Smith & Wesson, we strive to be the leading producer, top supplier, and loudest vocal advocate of firearms, both domestically and internationally, supplying our customers with quality products and top-of-the-line support by the end of 2027. Our new vision statement says by the end of 2027, Smith & Wesson will rank highest among its competitors within the firearm industry, domestically and internationally, while experiencing consistent revenue and customer growth. We feel this highlights what we want to do and by the time that we want to do it, and it really just sets a mission and vision for the company. Moving on to Sierra, she's going to go over our SWOT analysis for Smith & Wesson.
Let's first analyze Smith & Wesson's SWOT analysis by taking a look at some of their strengths. Smith & Wesson offers great product differentiation by selling long guns, revolvers, pistols, offering specialty services, as well as merchandise. Smith & Wesson is the U.S. brand leader in manufacturing and designing firearms. It's also good to note that with the rise in gun-related crimes, voters and consumers are wanting responsibility held far beyond the person that's pulling the trigger. They're wanting manufacturing companies to be liable for these crimes because they are creating and supporting civilians with these firearms. But guns are no good without ammunition, which has been selling out since the beginning of the pandemic. It's also good to note that ammunition has increased in sales by 8% since 2022. Smith & Wesson also has great evolution opportunities by these new market advances and a growing consumer base for non-lethal weapons such as tasers, stun guns, and pepper spray. Smith & Wesson can combine their technological advancement with these new market opportunities to provide a platform for consumers wanting both, but not having to shop at many different places. Smith & Wesson needs to take into account the stronger legislation, which is one of their main reasons for moving their headquarters to Tennessee, a Second Amendment-friendly state. Also, the gun industry has been experiencing higher operational costs, so Smith & Wesson needs to expect these costs and plan for them while still creating and having the product and quality that consumers go to their brand for. And now Cameron will highlight some opportunities that Smith & Wesson has to take advantage of these strengths while steering clear from these threats and weaknesses.
Thanks, Sarah. So looking at our short-term action plan for Smith & Wesson, our first strategy wanted to revolutionize our digital presence by launching a new app accompanied by an aggressive marketing campaign. With this investment of nearly $350,000, we will boost customer engagement, increase brand awareness, and drive app downloads. Our app will offer a seamless interactive experience, including customer ordering, virtual showrooms, educational content, rewards programs, news, and location-based services. We aim to drive a 10% revenue increase by the end of the fiscal year 2024. Secondly, at our second short-term action plan, we want to enhance our research and development and create innovative products that meet the demands of the modern consumer by exploring smart guns, customizable firearms, and non-lethal weapons. We will diversify our product offerings and distinguish ourselves from competitors. Through these new product developments, we expect a 2% annual increase in revenue. Our next short-term action plan is to expand into international markets, into promising international markets such as Saudi Arabia, India, Egypt, and Australia for the top 4 firearm import international markets. By forging distribution networks and partnerships with these regions, we aim to increase our international sales from 3% to 5% by the end of 2024, leading to a potential 2% annual revenue increase. Looking at our long-term action plan, I wanted to discuss acquiring Amtech Less Lethal Systems, a well-established non-lethal weapons company with an extensive patent catalog. This acquisition will give us a competitive edge in the growing non-lethal market and protect our innovations against trademarks. Moreover, we can leverage our data analytics and customer insights from our new mobile app to better understand customer preferences, behavior, and market trends. This information is super invaluable and will enable us to fine-tune our product offerings, optimize market strategies, and anticipate market shifts, ensuring that we do maintain that competitive edge. Lastly, you'll recognize the importance of investing in strengthening our corporate culture, focusing on talent development, leadership training, and workforce diversity. We will promote a collaborative work environment that fosters innovation and adaptability. By emphasizing workforce diversity, and we can retain and attract all the top talent, ensuring that Smith & Wesson remains at the forefront of the industry. Through these implementation of these strategic plans, we will drive growth and enhance our market position and secure the long-term success of Smith & Wesson. Now I'll pass you to Eric to discuss our financial research.
All right, thank you, Cameron. So on the left side of this slide is our baseline prediction. In 2023, we assumed we would maintain around $900 million in sales, which is approximately 4.2% over the prior year, while costs outpaced revenue growth at a rate of 6% based on historical averages. In the years 2024 through 2027, we've also assumed modest growth in revenue and costs. In our strategic recommendation forecast, we've implemented several initiatives, the first being the development of a new app that we will begin implementing in 2023 and have fully rolled out in 2024. 2023 in our strategic forecast is flat to our baseline forecast. You'll see the impact of this app in 2024, where we expect revenue to grow at 10%. The second strategic initiative is an aggressive marketing campaign to introduce our app to the public. In 2024, expenses increased by approximately $3.5 million, primarily due to the increased advertising. Also, we accounted for an increased pressure in prices due to the current economic conditions and inventory shortages in ready-made parts. We expect to continue over the next several years. Also, in 2024, we plan to implement a program aimed at teaching college students gun safety and firearm handling. This will not only help to boost revenue, but also introduce our brand to potential new customers. In 2026 and 2027, we start to see our revenue growth begin to taper off, and that's just due to the maturity of these initiatives that we've implemented early on. We may have to revisit our forecast in the next year or so to see how we can boost revenue in 2026 and 2027. Next up, we have Riley.
Thank you, Eric. In my analysis of our action plans, we have discovered some risks and rewards. The first risk I would like to address is our hurdles that we will have to face when expanding internationally. Any country has its own gun laws. America has its own, Saudi Arabia has its own, and India has its own, and Egypt has its own. And as a result, we need to find international experts who can identify what these risks are, international hurdle risks are, so that way we can address them professionally. And another risk is a potential perceived discrepancy in quality between our already produced firearms and our newer research to less than lethal firearms. There's a possibility that loyal customers will not take kindly to the introduction of new and different products. And as a result, it can reflect poorly on what we're already doing. And in an extreme case, it can even result in brand cannibalization, in that we hurt our sales of lethal firearms by introducing a alternative under the same brand. And our last risk that we need to pay close attention to is the intellectual property issue of our research and development firm. With them, we need to ensure keep close contact with them in order to make sure that they don't infringe on any already existing intellectual property laws, and that they continue to comply with said laws for each new product they continue to come up with. Now, if we take all three of these risks and assess them well enough, then we can enjoy some rewards, such as heightened brand equity. Brand equity is the perception of the product or the company itself, which is derived from the consumer's experience with it. And by diversifying our product line, we can not only be Smith & Wesson, the firearm manufacturer, but Smith & Wesson, the weapon manufacturer. And as a result, we can enjoy enhanced relevance in the weapons space in general, not just in the firearms and ammunition sector. And we have even more room to grow afterwards with tons of opportunities. And with that, we have our conclusion of this presentation. And we found that our action plans have benefits for both Smith & Wesson and benefits for the consumer. A first benefit for Smith & Wesson is a larger market share now that we not only are participating in the sale of firearms, we're also participating in the sale of non-lethal firearms with our partnerships. And this also leads us to a new market, and which in itself leads to new opportunities and leveraging our space in the market so that way we can enjoy increased revenue. And as for the consumer, they get more options. Consumers don't like to be pigeonholed into a single option. And with our new diversification plans, they can enjoy even more options. And with the app, they can engage with us even easier than before. And with that, that is our presentation, and we hope that you enjoy our analysis of our plan.